Hello.
Hi.
Hey, girls.
Hello.
Hi, it's so good to be here. We haven't had a theater talk, tech talk for a while now. It's been over a month, but I'm so excited. We started this this like monthly technical talk back in January, and this is our 5th one. And I'm so excited to talk to these two because these are my right-hand people. If you don't know me, I'm Pam Raposa. I'm the director of Theater 444, and this is Richelle Coons and
hello, everyone.
Wendy Verricchio Fletcher, who are both some of our favorite stage managers. Not our only ones, but definitely some of our favorite ones. And they're going to talk to us tonight about stage managing. So if that's something that you've been thinking about giving a try, you know, this might be a good conversation for you to hear about. Do you guys want to introduce yourself a little bit? Talk about like what you've done and where, you know, how you got into this?
Sure. I guess I'll start. So I have been doing theater itself since I was about 8 or 9. I started at a theater camp that is still functioning to this day. It's called Curtain Call in Lyons, New York. And so with that, you kind of learn all the aspects of theater, you singing, dancing, acting, and the behind the scenes stuff. I started more with behind the scenes stuff when I was in senior high school. And then after graduation, went away to college, finished up college, and then did some community theater work, backstage managed a couple things, worked with a couple of different directors. And then I joined Pam when she directed Shrek in the cast. And I also took on about half of the props for that show. And then the next summer, Pam started Theater 444, and I was with Pam. I was involved in, I did props for Spring Awakening, but then after that, I stage managed every show almost from,
Yeah.
Yeah, almost until I moved away. I moved away from the area a few years ago, but now I'm back and I just stage managed Amelie again. It was my first show backstage managing. I've done some head of house stuff for Pam in between, but um, it was wonderful to be back. It was so much fun. I had such a good time. It was such a good group, and I'm really happy to be involved again.
Yay! How about you, Wen?
Well, I started out on stage in the 3rd grade as the girl who had one line, which was "No Santa Claus," and then I ran across the stage screaming and crying over "No Santa Claus." And I think I've been on and off stage since then, and have actually have a fun story with Pam. How I met Pam was my senior summer. Then Seneca Community Players did Cinderella, and Pam and I were the stepsisters. Pam was the happy one, and I was the dour one. Imagine that.
What did you say, Wendy? I was the what one?
You were the happy one.
Oh, yeah.
And I was the dour one. And I've played a lot of dour parts through the years, which is all good. I like those parts.
Oh my
and my son actually, his senior year, then he ended up auditioning and in Pam's production of why am I losing the name of it at the moment?
Next to Normal.
Next to Normal. Thank you. Which I was thrilled to have him working with Pam, and I think shortly after that was when Richelle took her leave to other locations, and Damon was like, "Really, Mom, that would be a good gig for you to get in stage managing with Pam." And I was like, "Oh, would it now?"
And your first show, you took on a beast. You took on Rent.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking.
You killed it.
I had no clue what I was doing. However, I'm a manager by just, I am a manager. That is what I do. I manage my own life. I manage at work. I'm a manager. So it came kind of naturally. And here I am. I've done several shows with Pam now since then. And I enjoy it, actually. I miss it when I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And I have a new stage manager this summer for our upcoming show.
Yay.
So excited to work with Sarah, who's going to be doing our stage managing this summer. So she's new to us too. So that's always fun to have new folks.
It's great. It's great to have new people.
Yeah. So let's talk about the job, because we were just kind of talking off camera about how the way that we kind of function in this role isn't necessarily how like the Broadway houses function. And so maybe you could talk a little bit about the job, is like how we do the job.
Yeah, you're a jack of all trades, master of some when you're a stage manager in this setting off Broadway, and you kind of end up picking up a lot of different roles. For me myself, I kind of the first thing in the forefront of my brain when I'm thinking about stage managing is what can I do to make the folks that are on stage's job easier, and make sure that they do what they need to do, and what the vision, help them to capture the vision that was laid out in front of them, and how can I make that easier, make that happen, keep everything smooth backstage. I don't know about you.
To the best of our ability.
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway the biggest difference rather between like a Broadway professional production company and our production company is that you're not calling the show. So anyone who's done a show or been on the crew side of a show understands that calling a show is someone sits there with a walkie-talkie and tells the lights when to go every time, tells the sound people when to go every time, tells, the crew backstage when to move what every single time. There's it's rather fast paced and you're, always keeping track of everything, but we don't do that. So what we do is sometimes we're one woman shows. Like in Amelie, it was just me. We had our lights person and our sound person, but backstage, just me. Our costumer Rachel also was kind enough to help us backstage with a couple of quick changes and just be there in case I needed her. One thing that I recently added to my repertoire that I never thought I would was accordion strap repair woman. Damon played the accordion, and one of our shows, the opening song it starts with him on the accordion, and the accordion broke. And he had to dart off stage, and I had to fix it before the next song. So, you're always on your feet. You're always thinking. That's the biggest difference, is that we're not just sitting there calling a show. And I know calling a show is difficult, but we're also doing the set changes. We're also helping with quick costume changes. We're helping the sound people who normally are somewhere that they can't get to our actors. So we kind of have to troubleshoot microphone issues. And sometimes even helping with practical lighting elements backstage and things like that. So it's definitely a jack of all trades job.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I have a stage manager backpack that has just all kinds of stuff in it. I have Gorilla Glue, I have Gorilla Tape, I have duct tape, I have, I probably have 6 different kinds of tape that I use for different purposes in that backpack. Scissors, bobby pins, hair ties. I don't know. I probably should have sat down and gone through it and inventoried it, but that's my stage manager backpack, and it hangs on a hook in my bedroom. And when I stage manage, then I pull that backpack back out and I use that the entirety of the show.
Yep. I have a similar bag. It's got everything I could possibly need in it. It's got a bag of pens and pencils and highlighters in there. Sticky
notes. And Pam's favorite eraser.
Yes. She brings her sharpener. We bring the erasers.
Yep.
Wendy taught me that I need to have erasers handy because I like to change my mind a lot.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little. It's fine.
And one of the jobs that they do really is to record everything that we do at rehearsal, so that 2 weeks later, when actors say, I don't know where I'm supposed to be right now, I have no idea. I'm like, ask Wendy, ask Richelle. They usually know what's going on because I don't at that point.
That eraser really is about this big.
Yep.
And then the other part I think that we do that's different is we end up running props all the time because we never have like a separate props person, and it ends up on our lap because we have to do all the things that nobody else wants to do. We have to do those things. Right?
Yeah, the prop table. The props table is like probably one of my proudest things is, to have a nice props table set up and props having their place and, and knowing who they belong to and just all of that. That's like one of the first things I do when we do load in. I'm all over where's the prop table going? What's it going to look like? Do we need more than one prop table? Do we need a stage left and stage right prop table? Yeah. Prop table's a big deal.
Yes, it is. It is. Especially when a show, so I just keep going back to Amelie because there were so many props in that show.
Wendy,
I think we were over 70 props.
It was
it's a very prop heavy show, in case you guys didn't know. And they never went back to the same place twice. They never ended up precisely where they needed to be. So many different people handled them from so many different places that unfortunately my prop table was not up to my par. It was nowhere near where I usually have it. But it was there's some types of shows where you just have to adapt. And this was definitely one of them. I'm normally much like you, Wendy. Okay, this is the prop table. This is where everything is going. This, everything has its place and its time. And that was not the case. So
I'm sure Big Fish rivaled you with the number of props that you had for Amelie. I'm thinking Big Fish was pretty prop heavy as well.
They were up there for sure.
Yeah.
But it definitely, props is one of those things that make such a difference, especially for our actors, having those things and being able to rehearse with those things and get those things as soon as possible. And, my car becomes a prop mobile, and I just put them all in the trunk and keep them there during rehearsals. And then when we move into the theater, I'm able to, kind of unload my vehicle. But it's definitely something that you don't think of until you're like, oh, we need those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I think that's probably one of our biggest challenges is not having our own space. When you live in your own space, you can kind of keep things in the same places and find things and pull things and not drive around with 9 million things in your car. And we don't have that luxury. And so we're always like scrappily trying to like fit into places that we've been invited to perform in. And it's not an easy task because it's different everywhere we go. It's completely different. Yeah.
Although I'll tell you that bookshelf in Story of My Life looked different every single night for that purpose. It was never the same bookshelf any given performance. Because
I have that. I have a picture of that one. That bookshelf.
Yeah.
And all the papers on the floor that we kept, like we covered the floor in paper. And so poor Wendy was like constantly fluffing paper all the time. But yeah, some places where we have to like put everything away every night, or we can't put things out and leave them out. And so it makes everything super challenging for us. It's a lot of work. There were
absolutely,
I think there were like 200 books on that set, weren't there, Wen? Like
at least. And we covered them all in white paper. So, it wasn't just the books. There was a lot of work making the books be what the books were. So, yeah.
Putting them away every night.
Yeah.
It was a lot of work every single night.
We had a wagon. We had a couple bins that we would bring out and fill the bins. And it was interesting.
So really, I mean, the job of the stage manager is to really make sure that everybody's where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to do, and having what they're supposed to have.
Yep.
That's really the job. And then all the other things on top of that just are additional things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the sound stuff and, and then set changes, and then like also managing other people and managing actors and
child wrangling in some shows.
Wrangling. We have a child in the show. There's always somebody that's, got to kind of keep their eye on that kiddo. And the set changes. Like Dear Evan Hansen, I thought was going to be the end of me. The set changes. That bed I thought was going to be, I thought the bed was going to end me, or I was going to end the bed. One or the other was going to happen. What was the deal with the set changes for that show?
There were there were so many of them. And I think it didn't help that I had somebody that was supposed to help that at the last minute wasn't able to help for whatever reason. So, and then trying to at that point find somebody new to step in, can be a bit challenging because it's a commitment, with all those performances and the going through the week of, what we don't like to call Hell Week, but it really is Hell Week. Just all of that it's quite a commitment. So to try to get somebody at the last minute to commit that much time to helping is a challenge. But there was so much, and I was running back and forth from one side to the other, and even with my lists and going over with people, the things that they were responsible for, inevitably, their head was somewhere else, and they weren't remembering what they were responsible for. And so if I didn't stay right on top of a certain individual who I won't name, but I would go to say, you get one chair this time. You get one chair. Nope, I need you to get 2 chairs this time. If I didn't tell him every single time, then it didn't happen. So like just knowing who needed that kind of reminder, like you've got 2 chairs this time.
Need those reminders because they're also like not thinking about that stuff.
Right.
They've got their track in their mind, and okay, this is next scene, I'm here, but oh wait, I'm supposed to bring my own chair, or I'm supposed to bring so-and-so's chair, like things like that. That definitely happened in Amelie too, because the actors did the set changes.
Yeah.
It was so weird for me just sitting there waiting for a lot of the show, because there was so much changing that had to happen, and it took so many hands that the actors were just able to do it in the pattern of the show. And I think that's adaptability is key in stage management, because we don't know what things are going to be like, and things like that, and keeping track of everything. And it's nerve wracking, just kind of waiting to see, okay, did they make it? Did they do everything right? Is it where it's supposed to be? Did they remember? So.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what your process is. Like, how do you get organized? Like, do you have a process, or is it different every time?
For me, the first thing I do is get myself familiar with the show. If there are productions that anyone else is doing that I can go see, or if there's, recordings online that I can watch, or even just listening to the music, getting myself familiar with the music, just so I kind of know, okay, maybe this is the direction we're going to go, maybe not really sure. And then from there, after auditions and everything, once we have a cast and we do the read through, then I'm able to go through and, okay, the script says these are the props we're going to need. These are the things that we're going to need. These are the different locations we're going to be in. And just kind of making a list for myself of, okay, maybe we'll need all these things. And then at some point I'll talk with you and we'll figure out, we do need these things. We don't need these things. We are having these scenes. We're not having like specific staging for these scenes. It's just going to happen on a black stage, things like that. So it's just kind of working through as we go, figuring out specifically what we need and what we don't. And then working with the actors as well. Okay, if you think you're going to need something, tell me, because if I don't already have it on my list, I need to add it. Or if we get to, that last week where we're all scrambling and they finally realize, oh my gosh, I don't have a pen and I need a pen for this scene. That's something that I might just have in my bag because I have that giant bag with me all the time. But it's little things like that. Just being openly communicating with everyone is the biggest part of my process. If lighting, it has a practical that they're going to be using. In Amelie, we used a camera flash. I had to make sure the batteries were in that every night. Little things like that, just openly communicating, okay, who's going to turn it off tonight? Because we didn't turn it off one night and it died the next day mid-show. So we had to figure that out at intermission. But it's things like that, and just openly communicating the entire time.
How about you, Ann? What's your process?
Very similar. So when I did Rent, then I had no clue. I knew what I had needed from maybe stage managers, and knew what I had gotten that helped and what I had not gotten that didn't help through the years being on stage myself. So I had those kind of ideas, and each show I do, I kind of refine how I go about it, and how I keep my notes and that sort of thing. I'm very visual. So it helps me to color code things. And so I'll choose a color that is props. I'll choose a color that is actual, stage set pieces and things like that. And I'll go through and color code. It takes me a little while before I'll actually color code, because I've worked with Pam enough to know that Pam doesn't necessarily do what the script says that we're going to do, or use what the script says that we're going to use. And so I've learned not to put the highlighter in a little too soon. So first I'll go through and underline things, and and then I'll go back and highlight later. And yes, lists are the rule. Like, I have my prop list, I have my set piece list, I have my, I have a list of, what the, the scene changes are, and that sort of thing, who's on stage, when, why, how, where, that sort of thing. But I definitely am refining that as I go along. I tried something different that bombed with Dear Evan Hansen, as far as how I keep my notes in my binder, and I'll do the next one differently. I'll go back more toward what I did the last time. Worked a little bit better, but learned a few things, and it didn't hurt me to try something new. So yeah. It's a work in progress, and all of the shows have happened, and I think they've been fantastic, and everybody's had what they needed when they needed it. So
yeah. Well, and there are so many moving parts to it, and then there's all the things that we didn't sign up for, that we have to figure out, like
drama. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I mean, like, I have this one photo, Wendy, from Rent, when you and Meredith and I stayed and painted the set one night till 2 a.m. because nobody was there to do it. That's not really the stage manager's job, but we did it, because we those things have to get done, and the technical folks do all the hard stuff. I mean, they really do. And what I particularly love about these guys, these two ladies, is that they know that it's got to get done, and someone's got to do it, and they jump right in and help. And that's so invaluable. I mean, it's just so invaluable to me. So I appreciate you both so much. So there's that. But also there's people. Like, we're dealing with people. And so, maybe you could tell that story, Wendy. You were talking about Rent.
Oh, well, yeah. Every single night. I mean, just, it's gut wrenching to die on stage, right? It's gut wrenching to watch somebody die on stage, and to do it every single night in the audience only watches it once, but we all watch it for a couple months happening and building and getting better and more realistic and more more emotional investment in it every single time that it happens. And so one of the jobs that I had, I felt like, as stage manager every single night, I was the one that was standing off stage as Alex left that stage every single night after he died. And I caught him as he came off stage. He was sobbing. I was sobbing. Everybody was sobbing. And we just stood there and hugged and held each other for, what felt like an eternity. Was probably only a couple minutes, but just every single night when he came off, then I did that. And then he was like, okay, I'm ready to go get changed and, get ready for curtain call. And I was like, okay, I'm ready to go make sure whatever happens next, but we did that every single night for at least the week, the last week before the performance, and then through all of the performances. It was just, I love Alex.
I know. Well, it's just like part of the job too, is managing the actors and what they're dealing with too. And I know, like, Richelle, you had a little one backstage.
Yeah.
Amelie.
Yeah, I love her so. Miss Annabelle. She has my heart. I got lucky with her in that she kept herself pretty entertained. So I was able to do what I needed to do, as far as helping with quick changes and helping with handing off props and repairing the accordion and things like that. But there were some nights where she was a little hyper and needed a little more attention. And so it was just, being thoughtful of, okay, where is she? Because she's got to go on again in the next 30 secogs and I don't see her anywhere. Where'd she go? She's running laps in the gym. It's fine. So just, being cognizant of managing people. And I think, I think part of my day job lends to that as well.
Both of you, part of
both of us.
Yes,
We
right.
both work in the mental health field, so it kind of lends to that.
It's not a requirement to be a stage manager. Really, it's not. So, but it helps.
It helps to be a social worker.
Yeah, there's some parts of the job that can definitely help. And even just, we're working with people who this is something they're doing outside of their day jobs too, and their normal day-to-day life. We had a couple of people in Amelie who were going through things in their private life at the same time, and they would just come and have a difficult minute, and they'd talk to me for a minute, and Pam and Meredith, and we would figure it out together. We'd figure it out. We'd make it work. At the end of the day, everyone left feeling better than they arrived. It's just, you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of everyone else. And you just have to be there, be present.
That is the beauty of theater, though, isn't it? That
it is.
You can have all of that going on and you go in and you just throw yourself into what it is that you're doing on the stage that is, totally unrelated to what your day-to-day life is. And you walk out the other end feeling like, oh,
I did.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I sing in a choir, and we often call it our detox night when we go and sing and rehearse. Then that is our detox Mondays. We just go and just kind of let it all out and leave it all there on the floor of the church where we rehearse, and it's like, all right, all better.
So you're also taking care of everybody too backstage.
Yep.
Not just the things, but the people.
Nope.
And I'm not backstage. I'm not back there. So it's so funny when I hear stories sometimes because I'm like, I didn't even know those things are going on back there because I have no clue what's happening back there. So what is some of your favorite backstage stories that
Oh my gosh. Okay. So one of my absolute favorites, and he did it again in Amelie, Pat Fegley loves to make people laugh.
Exactly. And if you ever, when you just said that, I was like, oh, I've got a Pat story. I've got to have a Pat story. If you ever
are backstage with Pat, either during a serious moment and he's trying to make it so you don't cry when you come out, or if something on stage is comical that's happening, he adds to it. I remember when we did Pippin, there's a scene, Joe and Marilla are on stage, love making whatever, and Pat is just doing everything he can to try and make them break on stage. I mean, the dancing, the waving a whip over his head, like it was just insane. And then he did the same thing in Amelie. We had that one scene in Amelie, and then at one point I look up and it's this like emotional song towards the end, and he's playing with items from the shop scene backstage. And it's just one of those things that like,
and if anyone's seen Amelie, they know what the items from the shop scene were.
Exactly. So it was,
and if you missed Amelie, you missed it.
You missed out. It's
Sorry.
Just one of those things that having someone like that in the cast, even if something goes terribly wrong backstage, just kind of snaps you out of it, and you're like, yeah, okay, we're good. We're in this.
Yeah.
I think from Big Fish, one of my favorite moments was I kind of thought I knew that Marilla was pregnant in Big Fish because I was kind of noticing you see everybody like almost in the raw backstage when you're stage managing in particular, it just is what it is. And so having been there myself in younger years, I was like, she's got a little pooch going on there. So I kind of had in the back of my brain that they may be expecting. And then we had a little one in Big Fish as well. And he was quite an active individual as well. Loved him to death. He was a lot of fun to work with, but he had his moments where he just was like unleashed in that gym. And Pat, not Pat, Joe turned around, and I can't remember exactly how he said it to him, but for me it was like, they're about to be parents. I was like, Joe, is that how you might respond in a few years when you're in that position with your own? Or I was like, that's very interesting how that all just went down. So, yeah.
My biggest like, oh my God, what am I gonna do moments was Little Miss Sunshine in Farmington. Pam already knows. So we had Shannon. We had a set for Little Miss Sunshine. For those of you who aren't familiar with the show, it takes place basically in a van. There's pit stops along the way, but they're traveling the country in a van. And the very first scene of the opening night, they all jump in the van and the chair breaks. The chair had a contraption that the steering wheel attached to. It made it into the van, and they jump in, and it shatters. It was Pat again. Sorry, Pat. But it just shattered, and we used that the entire show. And I looked at the person who was helping me backstage. I said, "What are we gonna do?" And we found duct tape. The chairs were yellow. We found black duct tape, and we taped the hell out of this chair and just prayed that it would hold together. Just prayed. Every time he sat down, we were like, "Don't jump again. Please don't jump. We know you've been doing it like this for a month. Please don't do it again." Luckily, one of our dear friends was there, and he's a welder by trade, and he was able to come and weld the crap out of all of the chairs, so that did not happen again the rest of the run. But I will never forget the utter panic that I had watching the center point of the show literally crumble in the opening number of opening night. It was something I hope to never relive. For sure.
Yeah.
The bed in Dear Evan Hansen, there was a period of time where anyone sat down on it and it collapsed. So that was always like holding my breath once I pushed that thing out there and it handled me. Then hoping it wasn't going to collapse. And then also in pieces, that darn futon that we used as a couch, and it kept falling off of the casters, and sometimes the back didn't always want to, if you didn't do it just right and click it twice, then it wasn't really upright, and you'd sit down on it and all of a sudden it'd fall backwards. And furniture can be fun.
Furniture can be great. I love that picture of James. It's awesome.
Oh, I was just looking. I wish that I had the video of that incident, because I mean somebody's got it, because I've seen it before.
Oh yeah, it's somewhere. I can't remember where.
But that picture is of James welding that chair back together. Oh my Lord.
Oh, I think I cried when he said, "I'm coming tomorrow to fix them all for you." I was like, "Thank you so much." And the poor chair looked like a bumblebee the rest of that night, because it was just yellow with black duct tape holding it together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a thing.
Yep, you were definitely a fixer when you're a stage manager, because something falls apart and you've got to figure it out to make it work for the rest of the show.
Oh, there's Alex.
Oh,
I don't know,
Alex.
Alex, if you heard Wendy's story about you, but she just told a story about you. And there's Shannon. I held my breath sitting on the bed.
I held my breath watching you guys sit on the bed every night, running out of house.
Yeah. Well, I so appreciate you guys just chatting kind of candidly about how hard this job is. It's the hardest job. It really is.
It's the most fun, though. It really is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. What are you most proud of?
That I haven't totally messed anything up. That I've actually gotten to the end of every show and felt like, all right, I did okay.
I'm not gonna lie, my biggest thing is that number one, I've not messed anything up, but also no one's gotten hurt. Like seriously hurt. Like that's an accomplishment because there's some sets that they're always safe, but like Frog and Toad, we had a scaffolding thing and it kind of scared me a little bit every time someone would walk on it. So
I know.
I'm knocking, Shannon. I'm knocking. Don't worry.
He's
I
not.
am knocking.
You might be using that same piece of scaffolding for this next show.
I had a feeling, but I'm knocking. I promise. Promise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think being all the crazy things that we ask people to do and making sure that everyone is safe while doing it, or you know, that they're safe, no one gets injured.
Like, I tell him it's safe, and then something happens.
Yeah, poor Alex.
Poor
I think
Is that Alex whining about what he had to stand up on top of in Story of My Life? I'm not standing on that.
Yeah, there've been some doozies, but I think the biggest pride is definitely seeing the family that we help create.
Mm.
Every show becomes a family. You can see each other months, years down the line, and instantly you're back, you know. And I think that is, I think we play a pretty big part in that because we definitely help them, you know, get comfortable with each other and comfortable with us as the production team, and just, you know, making a family. I think that's the thing that I'm most proud of.
That's great. Like I always tell folks, it's so critical that we feel safe on stage together. And, you know, what we do is hard. And it's so important that we all feel like we are taking care of each other, you know, and we have to figure out how to create that environment. And you both help me do that every time, you know, like it's so important that people feel supported and safe. Yes, Shannon, it hits different. It just really does.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something kind of scary and dangerous together. And also we're taking care of each other. And it's just, it's a big lift. It's a big lift.
This season in particular, with the theme of being found, hits home for sure for a lot of us. And I think that the theater family is where a lot of us are found, and having the ability of the outlet to do that is something that I don't think anyone can ever repay you for personally. It's a big deal. And if we're just a small part of that, I'm proud of that.
You're a big part of that. Not just
you know, give us a good lead in to what we might be talking about next. This is very much what we're talking about is very much what military culture is all about. And so the next show that we were about to do, then there's so much about military culture. To this day, having been in the military myself, I am still very close, very close knit with multiple people that I served with. And it's a connection that I have with people that is like no other. And probably theater is the closest I've ever come to that kind of a connection with other people, because you really are so very vulnerable in a very different way than you are in the military, but you are so very vulnerable together when you're doing theater. And it's very similar to what I hope the folks in Dogfight are able to understand and embrace in their characters and bring forth. Because despite how much of a jerk maybe some of the characters might be, then they still have that kind of connection and sense of family and connection with the other people that are in the show.
It's like anything, it's a lived experience that you have together, right? And so so speaking of Dogfight, we have Dogfight coming up next. We just cast the show this week, and it will run the end of August. Tickets are already on sale and actually have sold tickets already. I think that people are excited about it because it's not a show that people do very often. And it's kind of one of those ones that people love, but it's hard to find. And so we're super excited about doing this. And Richelle's in the show. Richelle got cast in the show, so she's going to be in the show.
I did.
And Wendy is going to help us with some dramaturgy, like talking about military and really helping the guys understand some of the experiences that they need to understand in order to live that a little bit. So she's going to help us with that. And then, like I said, I have a brand new stage manager for this show, Sarah Paynton, and she's from Hobart William Smith. And she's going to be with us this summer working on Dogfight. So, oh my goodness, I hope you will come see it, because it's going to be something else. If you don't know anything about Dogfight, it is Pasek and Paul music. So it's the same composers that wrote Dear Evan Hansen. If you like the music for that, you're going to absolutely love the music for Dogfight. The music's just gorgeous. Mm-hmm. The story's not so gorgeous, but it's a tale to tell. And it's, I think, very relevant right now in our country. And I think it will hit hard. And I look so forward to working with this group. And we have a really new group of people. Like, honestly, we had such great auditions. We had so many people come, and everybody was wonderful. It was one of those things where I was like, I wish I had more parts, because I had so many people. I could have cast that show 2 or 3 times. So it was hard to cut people from that show, because there's only 12. There's 13.
We need to get back on the proscenium and do a really big show. That's what that said, right?
I know, right? But over half of this cast is brand new to us. So that's kind of exciting too, to have some brand new folks in the house. So that'll be amazing also. Yeah. So that's coming up at the end of August. And that will be the end of our season. Like, that is going to wrap up our season pretty well. Our season 10 season. Oh my gosh. Every time I say that, I can't even believe it. But it's been 10 years. Like, that is unreal to me, because this was just like some dumb idea I had. And then here we are 10 years later. I'm like, how did that even happen? I don't even know. So, so that is going to wrap up our season for the year. And then we're going to take probably a little break, and then we'll get back into it in the new year. We kind of function on a different cycle than a lot of theaters. A lot of theaters go at this time introducing their season, and it's a mixed year. It's like 26, 27, and we've been kind of going on the calendar year. So it'll be our season for 2027. You'll hear about that after the holidays. So, so that's what's coming up. And also what's coming up is our next Theater Talk series. Our number 6 is, we're going to be having our costume, Rachel, coming to talk to us about costume design and production and what she does and how she does it, and what Rachel and I lovingly call extreme theater. because we have no home, and so we have our entire costume collection riding around in our car all the time. So I'm excited to have her on to talk a little bit about costuming and what that is like and how we design. I'm super proud of all of our technicians. I think that we're very intentional when we plan things. Nothing's really an accident. Things happen because we make them happen. And these are the magic makers, folks. These guys right here, they make the magic. So, yeah. So yay, Richelle's going to be in the show. We're so excited. Before we cut away, I just want to thank our patrons. They really get us through. Honestly, we can't do this without them. Our 2026 patrons have really, helped us, support us. We have a lot of overhead and expenses that it just takes just survive. And it's so helpful to have their support. It's never too late to become a patron. You can just go to our website and right at the top and click on donations and send us something. That would be great. Also, tickets are on sale for Dogfight on our website. Right at the top, there's a link. There's a button there for it. You can do that as well. And you can package a donation with your ticket purchase as well. Tickets are $5 more at the door. I'm just saying. Get your tickets, okay? Because they're going to be a little bit more expensive at the door. But we're super excited about this one. It's a gem that we don't get to see very often. So we're excited to do it. What else, you guys? Anything else? What did I forget?
I think we hit everything.
Everything? Anything else you want to share or say? Or
if anyone knows of a theater space that Theater 444 can make home, or knows of a place that could become a theater space, let us know, because we do amazing work. Pam is a wonderful director and we all work together so well and we do great work. But I think it'd be even cooler if we could do it in our own space.
Can you imagine what we could do if we had our own space?
Possibilities are endless, Pam. Possibilities are endless.
I often think that. I'm like, I just have the most amazing technicians around me and artists and actors, and I just am so lucky. But what would happen if we had our own space? Holy moly, we could do.
If they unleashed us all in our own space, I don't think the world would know what hit it. But in all seriousness, Theater 444 would love to have its own place. So if anyone knows of anything, please let us know.
Yeah. Thanks for that little plug.
Appreciate Absolutely.
How much did she pay you for that, Richelle?
Nothing.
I don't pay for anything. Don't you know that? We don't have any money. So, yeah. Thank you, ladies, so much for popping on and chatting with us about this really hard job. We love you both so much. You do so much for us, and you are the magic makers for real. So thank you so much. We'll see everybody soon. Hopefully in a couple weeks when pop on and talk to Rachel, and then please come see Dogfight. It's going to be awesome. So great. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.